Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Friday Fun Day. How you guys doing? Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Lynette, or good afternoon. Hi, Sharon. Good morning, Betty. Hi, Jeannie. Hey, Liz. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. So today I don't have a particular project or a technique that I'm going to talk about and show. I've had a lot of requests from people asking me about the connectivity between the new scanning cut and the Luminaire. So I thought I would just take a couple of minutes today and talk about that and show that. And then I will also have some workarounds for those of you who don't have that option. So I'll get into all of that as well. I just drew a blank. Good morning, Connie. Hey, Karen, welcome. Yeah, I went like this. It's morning. What can I say? It's Friday morning. So that's my plan. And so I wanted to kind of showcase how to do all that connectivity back and forth between the two machines. We just received our scanning cuts, the new ones, a couple of weeks ago. And believe it or not, I'm just getting a chance to play with it this week. So it's been pretty crazy here. So I'm just getting the opportunity now to play with it. But I will show some workarounds. So for those of you who do not have the Luminaire, or who have the Luminaire and have the old scanning cut, or have the Solaris and have the scanning cut, I'll kind of talk about some workarounds, okay? Hi, Pam. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Mavis. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead, let's say, which way should I start? Let me go ahead and start with the scanning cut. We're going to go that route first. So let me change over my camera. As you can see on my screen, it already tells me there's an update available. And so that happened, I guess, since yesterday, because I didn't see it yesterday. So, but I'm not going to take the time out right now to update it. I'll do that a little bit later. So the main thing is you want to have your Luminaire and your scanning cut talk to each other. So actually, let me just go ahead and let me go back up here a little bit. So you want to have the two talk to each other. They're kind of like married to each other. So you want to go to Brother Canvas, and on Brother Canvas, you want to go ahead and put your Luminaire's information. And then on the Luminaire, you want to go ahead and put your scanning cuts information. So you're kind of like talking to each other, right? And you want to make sure that they're all on the same network. And they give you like a little pin code that you type in, and then you're good to go. So once the two are connected and they're talking to each other, then we can go ahead and do the next part. So now I will change my cameras. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, so let's say I'm going to go ahead and bring in a design from the scanning cut and then take it to my machine to stitch it out. So a new feature on the scanning cut is you go to your left. We're always so used to navigating to our right, but you go one screen over to your left, and a new option is, it's called My Connection. So I'm going to click on My Connection, and that's the connection between the machine and the Luminaire. And since I want to send a design from my scanning cut to the Luminaire, I'm going to click on the word Send. And then it asks me, where am I sending it from? So I'm sending it from Pattern. And actually, give you 1 second here. Just 1 second. One second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick on this designs right here, because that's where all the built-in designs are on the machine. And then I'm going to, there's different categories of designs. So you can pick on all the different categories, whichever one you want. I'm going to go ahead and select this one right here. And when I select that one, I'm just going to choose my design. So I'm going to navigate, and you can see there's all kinds of holiday designs here. It's pretty cool. But there is a hidden design back here on the very last page where there's a a couple more holiday ones that are just thrown in here. So I'm going to pick this pumpkin design. I thought he was adorable. Good morning, Leanie. And then I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to say okay again. And then I'm going to click on the word set. So now you notice one new icon that has showed up on our machine is called the transfer button. So it's telling me, do you want to transfer from my scan and cut to my machine, my Luminaire. Now this will only work if you have the SDX330, as you can see I've got the new machine here, or the SDX325. The difference being the 330 is the Disney model, the 325 is non-Disney. That's the only difference. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the word transfer, and you can see it's spinning, and it's asking me there is data in the temporary data pocket. Is it okay to update? And I say yes, because it's really a temporary transfer. So I say okay, go ahead and update that, and it's finished transferring. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay, and then I'm going to head over to my Luminaire. And I'm on my Luminaire now, and I will go ahead and let's wake up my machine here. And at the machine, let me grab my mic with me so that you guys can still hear me. Okay. So at the machine, I'm going to click on my design center. And then I'm going to click on the shapes icon. When I click on the shapes icon, you see a new button pop up here at the upper right hand corner. That's the image of your scan and cut, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on that image. And it says please wait. So what it's doing, it brought in and it's highlighted, and you can see I've been practicing and playing around, and these are some of the designs I've been playing with, but it brought in the design that I transferred over from the scan and cut. It's pretty cool, right? I'm going to go ahead and say okay, and there I have it on my screen. So at this point, you can do everything that you would normally be able to do in my design center. You can resize it, you can delete parts of it, you can do whatever you want to do. So let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see him. Isn't he adorable? Kind of scary adorable, actually. And I'm going to do a couple of different things. I'm going to make this a separate section so it'll stitch out with a different color. So I'm going to click on this icon right here, my little pencil icon, and I'm just going to kind of just draw in a little barrier, so to speak. And then let's say I do not want the eyes to be circular. So I'm going to click on my eraser icon, and I'm just going to erase the eyes. And then let's say I want to make triangular lines or eyes. I'm going to hit on the shapes icon again, and I'm going to click on this triangle, which has more of a curved corners, because it will kind of mimic what's already on the screen right here. And you can see it's really, really big. You can't even see it. So I'm just going to run over here and click on the word size and just reduce the size of it. So whatever size you want to do it, you kind of can just kind of play with that. There's no really set. I'm just playing here. And then I'm going to duplicate that. So make another copy of it, bring it over. Now let's say I want my nose, I want the nose to be rotated. So I'm going to click on my select button, which is right here on the bottom. I'm going to click on my magic wand, and I'm going to touch the nose, and there's a box that appears around the nose, and I'm going to rotate it. Rotating it 90 degrees and maybe a little bit more, just so it looks a little, and let's go back out to about 200%. So just like that, you can go ahead and manipulate and change the design to whatever you like. And so let's go ahead and fill in the design. So I'm going to go over to my fill properties box, which is right here, and we'll pick an orange, and I'll say okay, and I'll click in, whoops, I'll click on the bucket or the cup icon, and then click inside the pumpkin. I want the eyes and the mouth to be black. So I'm going to go back over to my fill properties, change the color, and then click, 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 and click. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and do that little bit right there. So I'll change the color again. And I'm just changing the color so that my machine knows to stop after each color. And then once I'm done, I would just click on the word next. I'm going to click on the word set in just a second here while it processes. Now you see here there is an outline around my design. And let's say I did not want the outline. I can go back and click on return and come up here to my line properties and click on a no sew. Click OK, click on my bucket or the cup icon, and then just touch all the lines to make sure that none of the outlines stitch. And now let's see what happens when I click on the word next. So you can see now there are no outlines. Oh, I missed one. So let's go back. Let's click on return and come over here to the nose. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on the word set and then click on the word OK, and let's view our design. So there is our pumpkin design. So bringing it over right from the scan and cut directly to our machine. Super simple, right? Okay, so let's close this one out and let's go back the other way. So let's say I wanted to take a design from my machine. So I'm going to go to the embroidery side and I'm going to click on the embroidery designs, and I'm going to scroll and I'm going to click on category 14 and I'm going to select the butterfly, and then I'm going to click OK. Did I do that twice? I think I did. Let me back up. Let's do this again. Sometimes I can just get click happy and just keep clicking. Okay, there's the butterfly. Click on it, set. Okay, the butterfly is super, super beautiful, but I want you to take a look at one thing here. When I click on the word embroidery, it's 95 minutes to stitch out 58,000 stitches later. That's how beautiful this butterfly is. But let's say I don't want to do all that stitching. I want to convert it to an applique. And let's say I want to convert all of this pink section to an applique. So what I would do is I would go ahead and click on the word edit, and the applique icon, which we are used to seeing, I'm going to click on that, but there's something new here. It's called applique patch for selected colors. So I'm going to click on that, and now when I click on certain colors, it's going to convert that into an applique. So for example, if I click on the pink, both pink sections, and then I say next, it's going to convert that pink into applique. So I can tell it I want to do a light zigzag around the perimeter of this, I want to do a satin stitch, or I don't want any stitches at all. Now if you remember the design, it has a lot of decorative stitches on top of it, so I'm going to say I don't want any stitches, I just want it to be an applique. I'm going to click on preview. You see what it looks like. Click on next. So there it did my placement line and then the tack down line for my fabric, and I didn't do any overlay stitch, and then it'll continue embroidering the rest of the design. Pretty cool, right? Now let's say I don't want to embroider the white portion of this butterfly. So I'm going to come over here, and here's white is right here. So if I click on that, you can see here in my preview window, the white shows up, and I'll say no sew. So it took away that white stitching, so that will not stitch out. And then I'm going to scroll down, click again, and it's going to show up right here again, the white, and I'll say no sew. So it's going to skip that white color. And then I'll say okay. And then I want to show you guys the difference, okay? So if I click on the word embroidery, it is going to be 30,000 stitches. What was it before? 58,000? and 46 minutes to stitch out. Pretty cool, right? Now, if you don't have the Luminaire with this My Connectivity option, there is a workaround for that. So let me go back to home and let's bring in the same butterfly so I can show you how that workaround is. So here's the category, here's the design, and I'm going to click on the word set. I'm going to click on the word edit, and I'm going to click on this color, the spools of color, this color palette. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the pink, and I'm going to scroll down. You must have the word embroidery here. If you have a different brand of thread, you will not see this. So you must have the word embroidery, and then you click on the icon with the scissors, and then it's going to make it into a cut function. So then it will just do an outline. Or you can take it to your scan and cut, and it'll cut it out on the scan and cut. Okay? So that's kind of the work around for the Solaris. And then as far as the white portion, you would just skip that when you're embroidering it. Just advance forward, right? You don't need to embroider everything on every design. So that shows you that portion of it. And then let's go back. I'm just kind of watching the comments, see if there's any questions. Hi, Margie. Hey, Dolores. Hi, Diamond. Good to see you guys. Let's go back over to the scan and cut for just a second here. And let's go to home and get an empty screen here. So let me show you another design, another option. So you go back to the My Connection feature. So you click on the arrow left and you click on My Connection. And again, we're going to send it, right? We're going to send it from the scan and cut to the machine. So we're going to click on the word send. I'm going to go to pattern. This time I'm going to click on this icon here. And this icon has all your wonderful and fun sayings in the fancy fonts, right? So let's navigate. I'm going to go to, since Christmas is coming up pretty soon, let's go ahead and navigate to Noel. And then I'm going to say set, and then I'm going to say transfer. Now I can size it here, but I can also size it on the machine. So I'm just going to send it over. And let me go back over now to the machine side. And it's going to be waiting for me. So if I click on My Design Center, I click on the shapes icon, I click on the scan and cut, give it a second, and there it is, it comes up. I'll click on the word OK, and then I'm going to show you how cool it is just to fill this in with stitches. So it already has the red, so I'm going to click on the red and just fill inside the word Noel. But I'm going to change the outline. Rather than a satin stitch, I'm going to select my favorite stitch, which is the candle wicking. I'll just change the color, click on the bucket or the cup icon, and I'm going to touch the outline, and then there's one more outline right here. I'm going to touch that, click on the word next, and let me zoom in so you guys can see. So it's really big. The candle wicking stitches are really too big for this, so I'm just going to navigate till I see the candle wicking stitch here, and then I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to click on the word OK. And I think it's much better. So let's go back and take a look at that. Let me show you what that looks like. It's actually really cool. Isn't that fun? So you've just changed, and you've basically now created your own new font based on the fonts that are on the scan and cut. Now, there is a workaround, so hang in there, folks. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So let me show you the next one, and then I'll talk about some workarounds. So let's go back over to my scan and cut. So Evie, what I'm showing today is the connectivity between the two machines. So if you have a scan and cut, then absolutely you can go ahead and cut out any shapes. You need to bring it into software to convert it to stitches. The machine here actually converts the artwork, the JPEG, into stitches. Yes, Doris, they both have to be on. Well, you know, I don't know 100% because I had mine on because I knew that's what I was doing. Maybe I should turn it off and then see if it goes, but I would think they would need to be on. But that's a good question. I'll have to play with that one next time. Okay, so let's go back to my scan and cut. And I'm going to retrieve another pattern. So I'm going to click on the arrow left, my connection. I'm going to click on send because I'm sending something over. I'm going to click on pattern. And again, I'm going to go to all the fancy designs that are on the machine and the holidays. So I'm in holiday mode here. So here's the bats. I'm going to click on the bats and I'm going to say okay. And then I'm going to say okay, set, and then transfer. Now what I would do while I'm at the machine also is I would also cut the design out, right? So I can cut the shape out so that my applique is ready to go. So I was playing, and let me show you what I was playing with. So remember on the, let's see if you guys can see that. So remember on the, when I was on the machine, you had options to do a satin stitch. You had options to do just a regular fill or an open zigzag. So now I don't know if you guys can see this. I've zoomed in pretty close. So here is a satin stitch version. Here is an open zigzag. And the open zigzag is a kind of fun one too. But my recommendation, because you can see the little threads, so my recommendation would be to stiffen your fabric a little bit. Maybe spray a little Terrial Magic. Make it nice and stiff so that when it's cutting, it gives you a nice clean cut. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. And then this one here is just a regular fill. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And the inspiration from this came from this pillow. For those of you who took our what is it, welcome home event, I think it was called, and we did this the bats, and they were dimensional, and some were appliqued and some were stitched on. So that's how this kind of, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then I saw the bats on the machine and I thought, oh, how fun. And so that's kind of where I went with this. So the model numbers, Lynette, the newest model numbers are the 325, which is the non-Disney version, and the 330. So they both start with threes. That's the newest model. The previous model, which only came out last year, is the 225 non-Disney and 230 is Disney. Okay, so it's 225 and 230 are the previous models. 325 and 330 are the newest ones. Okay. Okay, so let me show you how to do this guy right here. So I already hit transfer on my machine on the scan and cut. So let's go back to my machine here and show you some options. So I'm going to click on OK or home to grab me a new screen here. So you have the 230. Okay, so you have the Disney, the previous Disney. Lynette, do you have a Luminaire or a Solaris? So here I'm on my machine. I'm on my design center, and I'm going to click on the shapes icon again. Click on the scanning feature, and again I'm going to bring in the bats that just came in, and then I'm going to click OK. So I have my bats right here, and what I wanted to show you is where to change those different satin stitch or an open zigzag. So if I just click and just really quickly fill this in, I'm going to do a no sew for the outline. And I just want to show you what that looks like here. Okay, so when I come over here, this icon here, and I click on Applique Patch, and this is what I want to convert, right? So I click on that portion of the design. It's only one portion in this instance. I click on the word Next. So here's where I did all those things. So here's the open zigzag in my sample. Here is the satin stitch in my sample, and if you don't want it, you just want it to stitch out, that's where you do. So these are the options, and right now those are the only 3 options there are for the cover-up stitch. So I kind of wanted to show that. Okay, so let me go ahead and now, if you have a Solaris machine and you have a scan and cut, okay, so if you have a Solaris and you have a scan and cut, here's what you're going to do. So let me go to my mat here. This is what you're going to do. You're going to take and put one of the pens into your machine, into the scan and cut. So you're going to use the pen holder, and you're going to put a pen. So I just use the built-in pens that came with the machine. And actually what I should be doing is putting my lid back on that pen since I'm not using it. So I just use the pen and I use my pen holder. So what I did is I have my low tack mat on my machine and I drew my bat. Okay, so I drew the bat, and then once it's drawn, then I stick the mat back in the machine, and on the machine you'll have a function where it says scan to USB. Okay, so you're going to scan it to the USB. Now when you scan it to a USB, it saves it as a JPEG. And that way our machines, be it the Luminaire, be it the Solaris, will read it. Or the Luminaire, whichever machine you have, if you have an older version of the scan and cut. So let me say that again. So you would scan in, you would draw your design, you would scan it in, and then you would save it, save to USB. And then that's how you would bring it over to the machine. You cannot just bring a design up from the scan and cut and save it to a USB stick. I tried that. It saves that as a FCM file, and our machines do not read FCM. It has to be JPEG. Okay, so I hope that helps clarify that part of it, how you can go. So it is a couple more steps, but it is doable, right? There's always a workaround, so it is doable. So I wanted to make sure I covered that. Let's see if there's any other questions. I'm going to change it over here. Let's see. How is the latest model different than the 225? Mainly, it's a connectivity feature. It's the Wi-Fi capability. I can go ahead and send the designs over wirelessly through the, just wirelessly, and then I can edit them and bring them in the machine. And then on the machine side, there's a difference as well. You have that applique feature that on the other models, you have to do just a couple of different steps to do that. Okay. Lynette, repeat please. What part would you like me to repeat? So if you have a Luminaire or a Solaris and you have a previous model of the scan and cut, I think that's where you're asking. If you have the previous model of the scan and cut, so you have a 200 series, so 225 or 230, right? What you want to do is you want to put your pen set in. You want to draw the design first. So you want to go ahead and draw the design first, and then once you draw it, you can go ahead and scan it in, right? So you draw it and then you scan it in. And when you scan it in, there is an option on the machine. Let me see if I can show you the screen real quick of the scan and cut. When I click on the word scan, there is an option scan to USB. That's where you're going to click. When you click on scan to USB, it converts it to a JPEG. And then you'll take your USB stick out, walk it over to your machine, put the stick in the machine, and off you go. Yes, Louise, I did do it on low-tack mat. Yes, I have a low-tack mat and I have just a regular piece of printer paper. Okay. What else? Any other questions I can answer for you? Looks like we're good. Okay, my friends. So, Jeannie says, hint for IQ. Yes, yes, yes. So this is my first go at it, playing with it. So I will go ahead and play some more. And I will have a lot of workarounds and, you know, if it's possible, of course. And definitely we'll do some more IQ stuff. Does the workaround work for other machines as well? So if you have the Destiny or the Dream, yes. Yes, it would work as well. Yes. So mainly the machines that have the Wi-Fi capability, which are the the Luminaire and the Solaris, yeah, it's different. Lynette. Well, Lynette, you know where to find me. Meridian is, I believe that's Wi-Fi compatible. Yes, it is Wi-Fi compatible because you have that app. So yes, it is. However, right now, from what I understand from Brother, this connectivity thing that they're doing is only for the Luminaire. That's what I understand. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't have a Meridian on the sales. Well, the Meridian, no, because the Meridian is baby lock. So Meridian, no, it will not work wirelessly because it's a baby lock. Okay, so Lynette and Jeannie are going to watch this a couple of times. Well, you guys know where to find me. So if you have any questions, you know I'm here. Yes, you know where to find me and you know I'm here. Yes, absolutely, Margie. You can absolutely still scan to USB. Yes, and then take it in. So that part of it is the same. Yes. I'm like your personal stalker. Hey, if all stalkers are nice like you, bring it on. Bring it on. I can handle that. Oh my goodness, you're funny. I can send from my computer to the scan and cut with the scan and cut off. So that's a statement. So is that what you're asking? I think you're just stating that, I think, Doris. You know, I don't know. To be quite honest, I think my customers got the scan and cuts first. I mean, I got mine at the same time, but I didn't open it the same day. I opened it, took me a week just to open the machine. And then it sat here in the classroom. Statement. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Doris. Thanks for clarifying. So Doris says that she can send it from her computer to the scan and cut with the scan and cut off. Awesome. Thanks, Doris. So really, I haven't played much. And what I did play is what I showed you today. But you know, my mind is now going, right? Like, what else can we do? What else can we do? And how else can we do it? So I will be playing more. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else I can answer for you? You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for joining me today. And again, stay tuned. There'll always be more. And don't forget on Tuesday now. So what's going on tomorrow? Tomorrow we have a class in here. But on Tuesday we have IQ. So Tuesday tips and tricks. We have an IQ lesson. And you're not going to want to miss it. So, all right. Sandy, you can rewatch it right here on Facebook. So you just go back and look for that video and rewatch it as many times and play it and pause it, all that kind of fun stuff. All right, my friends. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And then next weekend, next Friday, for Friday Fun Day, I will be doing another project, and it's going to be one of those, last minute, you need a quick project to do for Halloween. You know me, I'm on Halloween theme here. Trust me, after this whole month is over, my house will be beautifully decorated. No, I'm just kidding. But, so yes, I will show you something about Halloween, a quick project. So Bonnie, no, I was so busy yesterday and I got sidetracked, and so my apologies. So let me let you know that let me just announce it right here as well. IQ Applique to scan and cut demo. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, so what we're doing is November 5th, we are going to do a free jelly roll race. Okay, so I'm going to, I promise, I'm going to today go on my website and post that class. And the reason is it's a free class, but I have to post it and you have to register so I know who's registered, so I know who to send the Zoom link to. It's going to be via Zoom. And so I do need to know who to send that Zoom link to. I don't want to just post it here and, you know, have random people join our class, right, who don't really want to be here, I guess. So only if you want to do the jelly roll. So I'm going to do that today. And then there was something else. Oh, one other thing. It is called, what is it called? Give me a second. Give me a second. It is called Cups of Cheer. Kimberbell Cups of Cheer. It's their new quilt for 2022. So I'm going to post that on my website today, and that we are going to have, we're going to start pre-selling those kits. I know, can you imagine? We're talking about 2022's Christmas now. It's crazy. But we are going to start pre-selling it. We're going to give you a good deal for ordering early. I've already ordered my kits yesterday, so I put my kits, I put my order in because I didn't want to miss it. I don't want to be late. I want to get my stuff earlier rather than later. And so I will post that. And then what we thought we're going to do, not thought, we are going to do a sew along for that quilt. So we haven't figured out the logistics yet. Will it be on Facebook? Will it be via Zoom? We haven't figured out the logistics of it, but we will do a free sew along if you purchase the Kimberbell kit from us. So that'll be fun, but that's going to be 2022. It releases in June. They say June, you know, give or take, June, July. But that'll be a lot of fun. So look for that on my website as well. So 2 things to look for today on my website, and then you guys can sign up. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Yes, the Jelly Roll Race is the quilt right behind me. Lynn did this quilt. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to step away for just a second because then it will zoom in, I believe. Yeah. As soon as I, step away. No, go the other way. As soon as I step away, it will zoom in on the quilt so you guys can really look at the quilt. Now, I have it sideways just because of the direction of my table and the cameras and all that, but it really goes the other way. But it's really cute. So that's the Jelly Roll Race that we're going to have, and it will just be fun. We'll all be sewing on our own projects at home on using a jelly roll. And if you purchase a jelly roll from us, I'll give you a discount as well on the jelly roll. So I guess that's it. Anything else I wanted to say? I'm looking at the questions. Okay, so my friends, that's going to wrap it up for today because I can sit here and just kind of go on and on, but I'm sure you guys have things to do and places to go and sewing to do, actually, probably. So we will chat in a little bit. We'll chat soon. Definitely for those of you in IQ Tips and Tricks, I will see you on Tuesday. If not, we will see you on Wednesday right here for our fabric sale. Yes, I believe I have only 1 or 2, maybe 2 left of those. Yes, I do. I'm looking over there because that's where it is. So I think I have. I'll know soon. I'll know closer to the end of today. We're still processing Facebook orders from Wednesday. So, you know, if I have leftovers, then yeah, absolutely I do. Okay. All right, my friends. Okay, Dee. So if there is one, I will save you one. We shall chat real soon, okay? Bye for now.